Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is the Breakfast Bankroll for Saturday, June 4th, 2022. The weekend is here. It was here yesterday, and what a start to the weekend in the ECSI VIP'S. 3-0 MLB sweep last night. Phillies minus 122 sent Joe packing, and wow, they woke up. I think 10-0 final. Offense woke up, pitching, starting, relieving, the full package. So I'm not blaming it all on Joe, but I talked about when a manager is fired, sometimes it wakes up the team. Now, one game doesn't make the season or the weekend. We will talk about them, obviously, later. Over 9.5 on the Twins and Jays, and got some runs early. And I tell you what, was feeling like a champ again because totals don't come easy to us. And we're sitting there at 7 after like 3 innings, and then it goes dry, and then finally we break through, and then we get 9-3 final there. And the last game was like the biggest sweat. We Red Sox first 5 minus the hook. Pavetta's just cruising, and not a big Kaplan guy, and Caprillion, excuse me. And the Sox scratched 2 across. Pavetta almost gave it back in the 4th, but they cruise. And so 3-0 there. One of our pre-flop head-to-head matches comes through as both guys don't make the cut, but Seamus Power does win his match +4 to +5, so we cashed there. So we're rolling. We're having a great week. We got a lot of guys on the leaderboard. We hit the first round leader with Cam Young, and bases are heating up. Rangers up 2-0. I guess the series is over, right? They held serve. That's all. We'll see what Tampa's made of in game 3, and back home there. And Avs Oilers, Avs held serve, and we'll see what Connor McDavid has to say on there. But without further ado, he survived the first of many tropical storms, I would assume, throughout the season. Not that we're wishing upon them, but they always just seem to find him. So without further ado, let's bring him in, the one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Morning, Scott.
Yeah, Jeff, every time I turn on the graphs or whatever those, hurricane charts, it's coming right over my damn house. I'm like, damn it. And then by the time it gets here, it's like nothing. So it's like, okay, whatever. It's all good.
Well, we got saved. It was a holiday week, so we're usually 8 a.m. Friday morning. The landscapers love to come by, and, of course, if you're doing a live show, you could wait, or you try to sneak it in, and they'll jump schedule, and they'll be right in front of your windows. Dogs howl, and you know how it goes. So today was the 8 a.m., and they have finally left the area, so we are safe to go. What'd you think of baseball last night?
I think it's sort of what I expected. I mean, Dodgers beating the Mets. I think the Mets, I think the Mets are a good team. I just don't know that they're the best team, and they're certainly not the best team when they don't have Scherzer and they don't have DeGrom. And when they do have Scherzer and they do have DeGrom, that makes a difference because then they can match up the pitchers. So we'll see how that goes, later on down the road, especially if Scherzer comes back strong and DeGrom is strong. So if those two guys are there at the end and they're healthy and they can pitch, I think they're going to be in a pretty good spot. I thought Corbin Burns in Milwaukee. I think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now, and he gets beat 6-0. That's not very good. So I thought that was kind of an interesting game that San Diego pulled that out, and then you look at the White Sox are still struggling. And you just got to figure out where they're at and what these teams are going to do, because we talked a little bit late last night with as we ended the show with some of the things that are possibilities to happen. And the Twins are going to go get a pitcher. And if they get a good pitcher, I don't think the White Sox can catch them. So and it depends on when, right? I mean, if they go get a pitcher today, then obviously that makes them that much better going forward to the end until the White Sox get all their people back. But if they wait a while and the White Sox get hot, get some of their hitters back, and then all of a sudden start going on a run, then they'll have to hold them off if that's the case. But we'll have to see how it goes. I think St. Louis is one of these teams that you can't lose to the Cubs. You can't. If you want to be there at the end, you're going to have to beat these teams. We'll see how they do today. They got a doubleheader, and I don't think anybody's heard of any of the pitchers that are pitching today. So it's one of those, one of those kind of weird days where you got to pitch somebody. So here we go. Let's call these guys up and see what they can do, kind of guys. And then I think there's some things going on with, like Cleveland, for example. That's a team that's I don't think many people thought were going to be around. But if you look at the standings right now, they're second place. They're in front of the White Sox. And I don't know that that's going to stay that way forever, but and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs by any stretch. So don't think that I'm saying that. But some of these teams are actually a lot better than what you give them credit for. And I think Cleveland's one of those teams. We talked about, how they don't really have much offense, but, that third baseman they got, that guy can hit. So, Ramirez is really good. And so I think as you go through all these things, you got to kind of play things out, right? Cincinnati's not as bad as everybody thought they were at the beginning. They just keep winning. They got a good chance to win again today. So, there's a lot out here. I was surprised at Toronto yesterday. They didn't beat Chi, whatever the hell his name is, because they should have. You got to capitalize. You got to capitalize when you can. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Yankees. I mean, Jesus Christ, they scored 12 runs again. And then again today,
Carpenter, he's got 4 homers already.
And it's shit. Judge now has 20, so they're minus 300 again today, and they placed Brisky, who oh my god, he's bad. So what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to -3 to try to get a line in there that you can actually bet. I don't know what's going on with some of this stuff, but anyway, I'm all excited about baseball, and I'm all excited to go get my football shit going too. So there you go.
I'm going to backtrack on last night. A couple of things that stood out. On paper, the San Diego-Milwaukee game, Burns versus Musgrove, had mixed feelings there. I talked about what happened to the Padres the night before, giving up 4. They had the game won, and they give up 4 in the bottom of the 9th. And which would you get the team that's going to roll over and die? Would you get that strong performance? And for us, we do a lot of work the night before, the morning of, throughout the afternoon, till we have these shows, till the VIPs get their releases. I don't think they really understand. I think they're accustomed, and some of the VIPs that are the newbies, it's comical. I'll be getting texts 12, 1, 2, 3 in the afternoon. Hey, when's the alert coming? And I preface this. There is no timestamp. There is absolutely no timestamp. I give at least 30 minutes before the first game starts. Okay. I try to give a little more, obviously, but with our delivery service, it's text and emailed. So it goes right to your phone and it goes right to your email. It allows us the sharpest lines in Vegas, the latest moves, a late scratch, a weather alert, whatever, the umpires, whatever it is. So the people that are sending you their information at 8 a.m. for a 7 p.m. first pitch, use it as a doily. Use it as a beer coaster, because You still got 11 hours before that game goes. And the fact is, a lot of these games, Scotty, are dictated in the first couple innings. I talked about Toronto. I talk about the Padres. Well, the Padres got off the map and they got to Burns early. And the same with the Twins yesterday. I had the over, okay? And I said to you, I don't know which Kikuchi we're going to get. A lot of these pitchers are Jekyll and Hyde, and we both knew, Minnesota can score. So you got that Kikuchi, and we didn't expect much from Chi-Chi, but a lot of solo homers versus 2 and 3 run homers. Singer laid an egg. Urquidy, again, Houston got to him early. We got what we thought with the Bulldog in Boston there. It took them a few innings to get some runs on the board, but they finally broke through. The fire the manager, the Phillies early and often, and Eflin was great. So the Angels are free falling. I'm starting to really, really wonder if they get swept here. They're big. Overnight, they were minus 220 against Wheeler today. If they get swept this weekend, do they take a page out of the Phillies and say, hey, we ain't doing anything here with Joe? Do we take that move there? Comical football score on Thursday. Freed versus Cool. What'd it go, 10? And it finally took 10 innings to score 3-1 there. The flip from Pittsburgh to Arizona. Arizona breaks through there. Washington, I was a day late on the Soto homer. He hits a homer yesterday. They prevail. Seattle and Gilbert got out early. Texas rallied, but then Seattle gets the win, but I needed the Gilbert win there. But overall, it was a decent night in the books for everyone. Today, like I said, the eye candy, 227 last night, Scotty. Wheeler versus Lorenzen overnight. The corrected line is now 176 there. Pavetta, we've been waiting for some regression, and it just hasn't happened. We went against Blackburn his last game. Maybe in your box score or game score here, you'll finally find some regression there. Got Sticks on the mound for Cleveland today against Wells. The old Marcos Gonzalez auto. That should be an auto over, but I'm going to stay away there. I tried to explain this to everyone, and I'm going to say it again. Atlanta, Colorado today, 11.5 over. Go hit the auto play, bet the over. I'm not telling you to run and bet $1 bazillion. Just go get your over 11.5 and enjoy it. St. Louis and the Cubs, Palente and Killian. I know Killian is a beer, I think, but I don't know what Palente is a fruit or something. I have no idea there. Good matchup in Miami, Webb versus Lopez. Gore versus Ashby, I think, is a sneaky one. But I'm going to just turn the full slate over to you, and I'm going to let you, my friend, have at it.
Well, I've got 4 plays today, and I got 2 prop bets, but I'll just kind of break them down here. This Brisky Severino game, I'm not going to be, you're minus 300 or whatever it is, and you're probably, I don't know what it is on the run line. Holy crap, it's probably minus 175 or 180 or some crazy number like that on the run line. So you just gotta sit there and go, okay, well, the Yankees going to win by 35, or are they gonna what are they gonna do? And I just looked at the lineup today, and their lineup is goofy today. And I don't mean goofy in a bad way. I just mean goofy that they got players back. Stanton's in the lineup today, so he hasn't played in a while. So you got Judge with the leadoff, and then Donaldson, Rizzo, Stanton, Torres, Gallo, Kiner Falefa, Higashioka, and Hicks. And Higashioka don't hit. So it's just an interesting lineup. This is the same lineup that they had, before all the injuries and stuff. And now, the team was playing pretty good without these guys. And now they put them back in here, and they put Aaron Judge as a leadoff hitter. Come on, what the hell's the matter with you? Anyway, I'm just not a big fan of that shit.
Why? You know why they're doing it? They're guaranteeing him the extra at bat. They're guaranteeing him that he's on that home run quest. He's going to go beat Barry Bonds this year.
I don't know about that, but he's got 20. I mean, I don't, he's going to have what 35 or something like that, probably by the All-Star break before you can even consider that or something like that.
Probably got to be closer to 40.
Yeah, well, he's going to need to be there if you're going to go get Barry Bonds' numbers. The next game is that St. Louis game with Oviedo and Swarmer. Now Swarmer's already pitched a game, and it wasn't bad. I mean, he actually pitched pretty well in the game that he played. Now he's a 19th round draft pick, so you're not going to expect him to be the greatest pitcher in the world. So the best you can think of is a little bit above average at best, and he's already done that. So I would suspect that this is not the time that you would want to support him. But at the same time, Johan Oviedo is one of these guys who's just a fill-in journeyman kind of guy for St. Louis. And, I don't think they want to use up their bullpen in day one because they got game two. And, you got what did you call them? The fruits and the insects or something.
No,
Guys,
the Killian beer and the fruit or whatever Palente.
Yeah, the fruits and the ales are pitching in game two. So this is, you don't want to use up your bullpen in game one. So this could be an interesting game. This Bundy Minnesota game is interesting. Now Bundy got hurt, so he was taken out of the rotation there for a little bit. And when he came back, he's thrown a game score of 51, 57, 41. So he's been average at best and just a little over average once. He's pitched good against Toronto, but Barrios is a guy I can't support at all. He has just been one guy that has just been a shell of what he was in Minnesota. And, in Minnesota, there was always, in my mind anyway, there was always a question of whether or not he was an ace. Because he has he just has two good starts and then a bad one, and then two good starts and a bad one. Well, now he can't get two good starts in. He's off a game score 9. So I would suspect that he's going to pitch pretty good today. But then you look at the line and try to figure out how you want to play this game, and I'm just backing off of it. So I didn't play that one. I do like the next game. I like this Cleveland Baltimore game. And I talked about it the last time that Wells pitched for Baltimore, and I think it was against Boston. And when he pitched, he was excellent. And what shocked me was his metrics and the numbers showed he was going to pitch well. And today, his metrics and his numbers off of a good game show he's not going to do so good. So he's off a game score 71. His season total is a game score 50, which is average. But his last 7 starts are a game score 55. So that's pretty good. But it's still not as good as McKenzie. McKenzie can pitch. And this is now a team, and I'm going to flip it over to the offense for a second. But this is now a team in Baltimore who has who has 2 guys over the 1 WAR number and 5 guys under. Mancini and Mountcastle are the only ones hitting. And the Guardians have 3 guys over, with Ramirez being one of them, and 4 guys under. So it's a little bit better. But what's nice is that they got a lot of guys in the middle, meaning that if they get the right scenario, they're going to hit. And today I feel like, with Wells pitching, there was another stat here that I used a lot today. When Saturdays and Sundays come around, I like to look at these daytime splits, not wins and losses, but SOPS plus numbers. So the SOPS plus number against Wells during night games is 40. That means he's 60% better than average at night. He's really good. And then the daytime, 174. That means he's 74% worse during the day. So I like the idea here that you've got McKenzie, who's a 59 SOPS plus. And these are against hitters now. So the hitters that are facing him, their SOPS plus numbers are 59 against him during the day. So McKenzie's got a real big advantage on the mound against Baltimore today. So the numbers of a game score 71 on a guy that's averaged a game score 50, that means he's typically an under 50 pitcher. I like Cleveland today, and I got Cleveland at minus 115. And I will also say, and then these numbers I'm getting from DraftKings in terms of the strikeout props. I have McKenzie at 7.87 strikeouts. I know you can't get 8.87 strikeouts, but whatever. This is the number math shows. And you can bet him over 5.5 strikeouts today at plus 105. So that's what I did. So I like McKenzie to get the strikeout prop, and I like McKenzie to get the win today at the minus 115. So that's play number one and prop number one. And then the next game is this is Arizona and Pittsburgh. And this one drives me a little bit crazy because Contreras isn't getting, I don't think, the recognition that he deserves, and that's probably because he's in Pittsburgh. But this is a kid who throws 100 miles an hour. He's a good pitcher. He's just learning how to control and master the strike zone because he's got some walk problems, but he's contained it a little bit in his 2 starts. Now they haven't won any of his starts, so that's a problem in itself. But that also means that he's kind of due for that. Davies is a guy that's very hittable, but they both kind of have metrics that are about the same: 4.27 Sierra, 4.22 Sierra for Contreras. So it's kind of interesting that the guy throws 100 miles an hour and still can get hit. And the bigger problem that I ran into is that when you look at Davies, he pitched for the Cubs. So this is not going to be something where, the Pirates haven't seen him. Now, I know they got another new guys and all that stuff, but he's not been the best against the Pirates. His ex-WOBA number is 390, and that's not very good. It's the second highest on the board today. No, third highest on the board today. So I would expect the Pirates are going to hit him. And certainly Arizona has not seen Contreras, not even in spring training or none of that, because Arizona's in the West Coast and Pittsburgh's right here in Florida. So it's an interesting matchup. I am going to stay off of it. I think I would be what's the line in that game now? Pittsburgh, there it is. I think I would be. It's too high. So I mean, I get it. There's some respect from Vegas on him, but when I sit here and look at it, if you want me to play Pittsburgh, I need him as a dog, and this would be a great dog spot. But of course, I would look at it and go, holy shit, they should probably be the small favorites here. But I think it's a little bit too high, so I stayed off of that one. The next game on the board is Seattle and Texas, and I am playing this one. And I'm going to go against Seattle. I love to bet against Marco Gonzalez, and I think I've finally figured out how to bet against him. Because he comes up to these games sometimes, and he throws those lollipops up there, and then for whatever reason nobody can hit him because he puts them in the right spot. And then the day that you go, oh, I'm going to bet on him today, he puts the lollipops up there right where everybody can hit him like it's softball practice. So today, I'm going to take Texas, and I'm going to take Otto today. And I hate betting on Otto, but whatever, it is what it is. Otto's numbers 5.30 in Sierra, and he's got a 5.08 in xFIP. So that tells you right there that's not very good. However, Gonzalez is the only one higher than Otto today. He's higher than him, and he's not a strikeout guy, so he's going to put guys on base via the walk, and he's not going to strike anybody out. But again, going back to the situational spot here, let me tell you what it is for where's Gonzalez? There we go. So if 100 is average on SOPS plus, and somebody is 120 or something, that means that for a pitcher, they're 20% worse than average. For a hitter, they'd be 20% better. So in this case, you have Gonzalez, who at night is a 123. So he's 23% worse than an average pitcher at night. And in the daytime, he's a 170. Holy shit, he's 70% worse than an average pitcher. 70. I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me. Sign me up, especially when you think about Texas. And I pulled up their offense, and Texas has 6 guys right now batting over 1 WAR in the last 7 days. They're led by Seager at 4.6 WAR, and Simeon's been hitting the home run. These guys are starting to play, and I think this is a good spot for them. Seattle, on the other side, only has 3 guys over the 1 WAR number, and they're being led by Trammell in the outfield. So a young kid, which is fine. You can have a young kid lead the way, but you need more, and they don't have the more. So I like the idea here that we're in a pretty good spot. Where he's minus 120, so I don't think that's a bad out of line way to think about it. So I'm on him today. The next one is Pavetta and Blackburn. And Jeff, I'm going to go against Boston today and take Blackburn today. And the reason isn't that Pavetta has been bad, because Pavetta has been good, but Pavetta's off a game score 60. Now, 60 is not one that I sit there and go, oh, he's going to automatically have a bad game. His year-to-date number is 53. Over the last 7 starts for him, he's got a game score 63. So his last 7 has been really, really good. Blackburn, his last 7's been a 57. That's not bad for an Oakland A pitcher. It might even be better than what Frankie Montas has thrown out there, which most people probably didn't realize. But what swayed me here was again, looking at this situational thing, is I think that when I looked at it, Blackburn's pitched 10 times. In those 10 times, the Oakland A's are 8-2. How many games have they won? They won what, 15 games or something? And shit, if he's been in that spot, I'm just making that up. I think they've won more than 15 games, but
20-34.
Well, there you go. They won 20. So he accounts for almost half of them. So if they're going to win, they're going to win when he pitches. So I kind of like the idea that we're in a good spot here with a little bit of regression for Pavetta and a good spot for Blackburn. And, I got him at plus 116, so I'm okay with that. I would like to have been a little bit more, but, the Red Sox would have had to still been as hot as they were, and they're a little bit cooled off. Houston, I'm going to stay away from. I can't tell who's pitching for Kansas City. I know what it says. It says it was Bubik. Is he still listed as the pitcher?
On Don Best and Sports Insight, Bubik is still listed.
He's terrible. I mean, he's terrible. So like for real, he's like really bad. Hey George, how you doing, brother? So anyway, one of these other. So I'm just going to stay out of that game. Washington and Cincinnati. Fetty's been the best pitcher that Washington's had this year. He's pitched 10 times.
When he came up, that was one of the guys I used to call it the Fetty fade. And then he started getting me pretty good, and I've just stayed away because he's been pitching pretty damn good.
Well, he's pitched 10 times, and he's the team's 5-5 when he starts. And then, again, they're going to face Maile and the Reds. So I think Maile's the right way to go, obviously, but I'm not going to get involved in that game. I'm just not. I don't want to bet the Reds unless they're super small favorites. And today they're not. They're 130-ish range. That's an average normal number that you would bet. The next one's kind of surprising because I don't know what's going on with these guys. This is the White Sox against the Rays. This is Rasmussen against Cease. And I'm going to tell you right now, Cease is the better pitcher of the two. And people think that Cease is on the downside of something. I don't know what. He's off a game score 70. His game score for the season's a 55. I thought it would be a little higher than that, but he's had his moments. He's struggling, I guess, with the walks. Now, looking at the walk rate, it's not very good. It's 4.74 walks per 9 innings. But Jesus Christ, Jeb, 13.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the best on the board today. He's striking out everybody. And then you got no Franco and you got no Lau. Of course, they didn't have that yesterday. They scored 6 or whatever they did against the White Sox. So I don't think you can support the White Sox until the White Sox are getting hot on offense. And looking at their offense, Grandal's been bad. Abreu is actually leading their team right now, but nobody else is like coming along. And they need to get the young kids up there hitting. And I just can't get involved in that one. That Webb and Lopez game, they've already matched up once, and it was 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if they matched up today, and it's 2-1. I mean, these guys are pretty good. Now, I've got a little more disfavor with Webb as of late than I have with Lopez and Alcantara. Webb's a lot more hittable than the other two. The other two big strikeout guys. So I'm just going to stay off of it unless you're going to play the under, and the under is probably 5.5 or 6 or something crazy. 6.5.
I'm surprised that I thought I'd see 6 and a hooks there. They're leaving it at 7. There is a 6 and a hook at FanDuel and DraftKings and FanDuel, DraftKings, and PointsBet. Everyone else on the Vegas Strip is at 7, juiced under.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I don't think there's going to be much scoring in that game, especially in the first 5 innings, for example. And then you got this Gore and Ashby game. You kind of brought it up. I will tell you this: looking at numbers and data and stats and all the other bullshit, Ashby's pretty good. He's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, I think everybody kind of knew he was supposed to be pretty good. He's the next up and coming guy they pull out of the bullpen that's supposed to be good. Like that's what they did with Woodruff. That's what they've done with Burns. That's what they did with Peralta, and Ashby's the next guy. So he's supposed to be really, really good. Now the issue here is that as I tell you, he's really, really good. He does have a command problem. He's got 5.17 walks per 9 innings. So you can't put guys on base. His batting average against is 250. Major League Baseball is at 240 right now. So he's above average there. 1.6 guys get on base per 9 innings or per 1 inning. So San Diego has the edge when it comes to getting guys on base. And San Diego's throwing a left-handed pitcher. Not only is he a left-handed pitcher, he's a good left-handed pitcher. And Milwaukee doesn't hit left-handed pitchers. So I like Gore today. I'm going to take Gore today. Plus 119, I think, is the number. And I'm going to be happy with that one. This Wheeler Lorenzen game, I'm leaving that one alone. I think if you're going to play it, the only way you can play it is to back Wheeler somehow, some way. Lorenzen's been a lot better than I thought he was going to be. He's a former relief pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, and he's also the same guy that tried to play outfield at the same time. So, he's a dual threat guy. Now that he can't play whatever, he can't be Ohtani out there on the same team with Ohtani, right? So anyway, I don't think I'm going to go there. Strider and Freeland, I think you got to be all over Atlanta. You just got to figure out how you want to play them. Yesterday was 0-0. Couldn't believe it. Absolutely couldn't believe it. I played Atlanta yesterday a lot. That was one of my losers. I was 1-2 yesterday. But that was one of my losers. And because I wanted him on the run line at the first 5 innings with Fried. So that one sort of cost me with the idea there. So I'm not going to do that. So you got to figure that out. And Strider in his first start. Now he's been that 100-mile-an-hour relief pitcher guy. Then he's my Huckleberry guy. So if you see him, that's kind of what he's famous for. Oh, my Huckleberry. Anyway, hey TJ, how you doing this morning? So the last one is Peterson and Bueller. I mean, you can't I don't think you can back Peterson. You got to back the Dodgers. You got to keep backing the back in the Dodgers. I was so tempted yesterday to throw some money out there on the Bulldog Bassett and, see what happened to him. He got beat up. So, the Dodgers just are relentless. And I don't think the Mets can keep up right now. That doesn't mean they won't keep up later, especially when they can get their pitchers back. So see how it goes. But anyway, that's the way I look at the board today.
Great job as always. My eyes. What do my eyes see?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got Gore over 5.5 on props bets. Over 5.5 strikeouts plus 125. What was my number on that? Gore. I got him at 7.62. Oh shit! Here we go with that 7.62 shit. And then I have Houston Garcia over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 105. Only 4.5. Thought that was pretty good. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Arizona, Pittsburgh, as you stated, I could not ever bet a Pittsburgh team favored by minus 134 against Barnstable High School at this point. But thanks, but no thanks. Not saying it's not the right side either. I couldn't get in there. You talked about Fede and Male, 1-1 so far in this series. Give the edge on paper to Male. Look for a bounce back in Cincy. The tax is a little too steep for me, even though they're playing better. I lean Cincy, but I'm not going to pay the tax there. I too like Gore. I liked how they bounced back yesterday. I like their resiliency. For me, if I was going to get into Gore, I'd probably go on the first 5. 2 days ago, there was a 4-run blow up on the Padres, but I would lean Padres in plus money. First 5, you can also get them plus the half run for a short tax on that one. San Fran and Miami, you talked about Webb and Lopez faced each other. I'm starting to wonder with the 7, Scott, second time around, if this isn't the game that they actually hit each other. And as much as, I'm a huge Lopez fan, I'm a huge Webb fan. I know San Fran can score. Miami really can't score. It's a pick'em game. Slight lean Lopez, very slight. He's just been phenomenal. And so again, I don't know if you go into the teeth of a first 5 there. If you put a gun to my head, I lean Lopez, but I'm going to go contrarian and say that I think I would have liked to seen a 6.5 pre-flop. When they're giving you the 7, they want you to bet the under. So don't be surprised if they don't get to 7/8 or more today. That's just a contrarian look there.
Well, their first matchup was opening weekend, so it's been a while since they played each other. But they played that series out there in San Francisco, and they were all like 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 kind of games, all 3 of them. So, and then what was yesterday was another one that was like nobody can score any runs.
St. Louis, Chicago, I have no say in that. I don't know anything. I looked for some work on those guys last night and this morning. It's a hard pass for me there. Strider Freeland, we had Strider first 5 in his debut. Strikes out the first 2 guys, infield hit, double, hanger, 3-0, 3-2 first 5. Thanks for playing. We had the loss there. I know there's a lot of data. SoCal will be putting it up at some point today on Gambling Twitter. Freeland, an auto under. His numbers to the under are phenomenal. Not today, Mr. SoCal. I telling you, when I see 11.5, there was a 12 overnight too. 11.5. Hit the pizza and beer money, however you want to play it, on the over today at Colorado there. Strider versus Freeland. I talked about the Dodgers sleepwalking against the Pirates. The Mets woke them up. They've won the first 2. And if I'm not mistaken, Scotty, didn't Buehler get lit up his last start as well?
Well, he didn't pitch very well. I mean, he's got a game score of 42. That's not like lit up, but that for him that is. But when I looked at Wheeler or Buehler, his last 4 starts, 42, 53, 51, 31. It's not very good.
Maybe something's going on. Maybe something's going on there. I don't know. But again, too big of a tax. If you wanted to get cute, take the Dodgers first 5 minus the hook. I don't have a problem with that one. Brisky Severino, thanks for playing. I mean, 328, 340, 360 at FanDuel, 350 at DraftKings, whatever. Someone reached out to me. Hey, great job yesterday. I went 3-0 with your plays. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I sprinkled a little run line on the Yankees too. And I'm like, what? I mean, listen, first 5, they were minus 200, minus the hook. God bless you guys. I mean, whatever. Minnesota and Toronto, Bundy, Berrios, 2 pitchers that, listen, you get, like I talked about with Kukuc, like I talked about with some of these other pitchers, they're all Jekyll and Hydes. And listen, Bundy and Berrios could go 2-1, 3-2 today, or it could be 8-7 after 5. They're giving you the flat 9, even an 8.5 at FanDuel. Maybe they're expecting, good performances from both. I'm a hard pass there. Seattle, Texas, again, I'm not a Marcos fan. I'm not an Otto fan. Yet the total's only 9. That surprised me there. Big Sticks fan, Mr. McKenzie, against Baltimore. Here's the problem. I left Bieber on the desk. I could have got in on the first 5 at a cheap money last night. I left them on the desk. So I'm hitting myself over the head with the dummy stick. I can't play them all. I had the Giants' first 5 on the desk yesterday, but both pitchers got scratched, so I left them there. So I'm putting myself in the corner on this game, because if you didn't take Bieber on Friday, why the hell are you taking McKenzie on Saturday? That's what I'm telling myself, Scott. So I'm leaving myself on timeout on that game, even though I do like McKenzie. I do like them today.
Hey, I just ran the database for Kyle Freeland at home. The last 30 games, whether he was favorite or underdog, didn't matter. They are 13 overs, 15 unders, and 2 ties, just so you know.
All right, so I'm using the eye test with the 11.5. We're going to take the 11.5 there. Pavetta, Blackburn, again, we went against Blackburn last game and won. I've been waiting for the shoe to fall off with Pavetta. I think this is a perfect get-well spot for the Sox here. They shook the cobwebs off, and they won yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised to see a low-scoring game, though. The under-over opened at 7.5. Circa has moved it to 8. The Nugget has it at 7.5, juiced over minus 120. I'm going to stay away. I expect a gutty performance from Blackburn. And Pavetta, Scott, he's been lights out. And I egg on my face. Egg on my face here. Wake up this morning, Cease and Tampa and Rasmussen. Not a Rasmussen fan at all. I love Cease. Yet 110 pick them overnight, minus 117, even minus 120 with Tampa. White Sox aren't good right now. So until something happens, maybe they fire La Russa over the weekend. They need a little shakeup. Strong edge in my eyes with Cease. If you want to tiptoe into the first 5, I don't have a problem with it. You're going to get a little maybe plus money. Maybe some have it juiced there as they're the favorite. But I do lean Cease. I'm just going to stay away there. Spot on Bubik. Bubik is a boob. Garcia, big edge there, first 5. If you want to take Houston minus the hook, first 5, do not have a problem there. If you want to take Houston run line, full game, don't have a problem there either. I'm going to stick to it, Scott. Lorenzen and Wheeler, obviously I'm not playing the minus 126. You know my thoughts on the full game run lines. I'm giving up 3 outs. Unless I get a 2, 3, or 4 run walk off. I like Wheeler first 5 minus the hook today to get it done with the Angels to piggyback off of yesterday's performance. And in hockey, anyone holding Colorado Western Conference champ tickets, you got a free swing with Edmonton today. Colorado opens up minus 118 overnight, now minus 128. What do I mean by that? Avs are up 2-0. If you have a future on them to go to the Cup to win the Western Conference, you can sprinkle a little beer and pizza money, quarter half on Edmonton today in the plus money. If Edmonton wins, you win a quarter or half. You win beer and pizza money. You fill up your gas tank. If they lose, you lose that, but the Avs will now be up 3-0, and you can just sit back and wait till they wrap this thing up and cash your Western Conference ticket. Tomorrow, Celtics and Golden State. And myself and Riley will be talking about that in the morning. Closing thoughts, Scott.
Well, it is June 4th. So we're getting through May, and we're getting ready to get through June. So keep an eye on a lot of things, and don't, like the Yankees and the lineups today. You got Stanton back playing. You got Donaldson in the lineup. You got guys that are coming back. So pay attention to the dynamics of what's going on here. So some of these guys, like in St. Louis, for example, are they going to keep the kids playing, or when the other guys come back, are they going to knock the kids back? So, the kids are playing well, but who knows what they're going to do in terms of, jobs and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's important to pay attention to lineups. I think it's important to pay attention to who's playing who and when. And some of these teams are getting a little, I don't want to call them lucky, but, when you played the Angels back when the Angels were hot, you didn't want to play them. But now you want to play the Angels. Give me the Angels. God damn, they can't beat nobody. So it's you got to ride those streaks, and this is the time to be looking for
them. Great viewing audience here. George, TJ, Marty. If you guys aren't following us on YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors, if you have a Twitch account at East Coast Sports Investors, could you do us a favor? Just run over there and hit the subscribe button. Smash the like button if you have a second after. Anyone watching and listening, we can't thank you enough. Without you, there is no ECSI Breakfast Bankroll Midday Market Report, Closing Bell. Okay, we are going to have a lot of big time shows coming up this fall, potentially on the national stage. We're hoping to go live streaming on Twitch, where we're going to break down games as they're going, as we got in-game lines, halftime lines, all that good stuff. And we want participation from you guys. That's why we're here. Myself and Scott don't want to hear ourselves talk. We like to field questions. That's why we have the Discord channel as well. The more questions you ask, like last night was great. There was a bunch of people on. It was nice. Yeah, we were winning. Everyone was winning. Everyone was feeling good, and it was nice to see the participation. Scotty says, always get active. Participate. Get off that couch. Opportunity is knocking. Are you going to sit on the couch, or are you going to get your ass off the couch and answer the door? With that, tomorrow morning, myself and Riley will do it all over again with the Breakfast Bankroll. Next week, we got some big guests lined up. It's the Belmont week. We will have Sean Alvarez on for sure. On Thursday, talking the Belmont for Saturday. On Wednesday, Julian Edlow from DraftKings will be talking the first two games of the Celtics and getting you ready for Game 3. Our weekly trips with Andrew McGinnis and NHL props, pucks, and playoffs across the border. And then, of course, on Friday, yesterday, me and Dan got you set for the Premier Lacrosse League, which is first opening week today. 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. You can catch those on ESPN as well. And then next Friday, obviously at 2:30, we will be there. A couple other guests we're waiting for confirmations on. But again, guys, have a weekend. We're having a great week here. We're right in the cusp of potentially taking down another PGA pre-flop. We got a few on the leaderboard. Already 1-0 on our head-to-heads. We hit the first round leader with Cam Young plus 4,000 with 5 others, of course. But things are rolling. We're just in the start of June. We're going to keep it here through July and the All-Star break and the dog days of summer. Myself and Scott will be talking a lot of preseason football and breakdowns of teams, futures, unders, overs. We'll be talking some college. We'll be bringing some guests on from Vegas and some of the other experts. So don't go anywhere. But again, follow us on social media, EC Sports Invest, Webby20 MLB. Get a little active. Ask a few questions. Doesn't help to retweet a couple of these shows, too. It's like tipping the dealer at Foxwoods of the Mohegan or Bellagio. With that said, if you're wagering today, do it responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. There is an 800 number. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB. We wish everyone a blessed day, a blessed weekend. Cash a few tickets, have some fun, and we will see you in the morning.